Hey friends, from the series of Neuroanatomy, today we are going to learn about white matter and the important bundle fibers in it. Many students are very confused about the gray matter and white matter. So let's discuss some important points regarding it. So look over here, this is the cut section of cerebrum. This dark grayish area, it is gray matter, while this whitish area is called as the white matter. So the gray matter form only 40% of the brain, while white matter form about 60% of the brain. Gray matter contain most of the brain's neural cell bodies from which nerve impulse originate, and the white matter consists largely of the nerve fibers. Its main role is to transmit nerve impulse. It's made up of bundles which connect various gray matter areas, and the fibers from the white matter are myelinated. So the function of gray matter is to process the information, while white matter allow communication to and from the gray matter areas and between the gray matter areas to the other part of the body. Yes, so basically it allow the communication. So these are some points regarding gray matter and the white matter. So look at this diagram. There are three types of fiber. Here we have the commissural fibers. These are the projection fibers, and these are association fibers. So there are three types of fibers, that is commissural fibers, projection fibers and association fibers. So let's look one by one. So the first one is commissural fiber. So look at this diagram. So what did you find special about this commissural fiber? So you can find that these are connecting to cerebral hemisphere, right? So the commissural fibers connect right side of the brain to the left side of the brain or vice versa. So basically these are connecting the two cerebral hemisphere. Now look at this diagram. This is the simplified diagram of commissural fibers. So this is the gray matter and this is all white matter. So in which these lines representing the commissural fibers. So this U-shaped is forceps minor, while posteriorly they form the forceps major. Forceps major connects occipital visual cortex from left to the right side. This is the posterior part of the brain, while this is the anterior part, and in posterior part there is occipital lobe. So the forceps major connects occipital visual cortex from left side to right side. Yes, and this fiber passes from the splenium part of the corpus callosum. So don't confuse over here. There might be a question from which part of the corpus callosum the forceps majors are crossed. So this is the splenium part. So look over here. This is the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is largest commissural of the brain which connects all the parts of two cerebral hemisphere passing across the midline except anterior-inferior part of temporal lobe. So basically it's connect all the parts of two cerebral hemisphere. So this is the simplified diagram in which there are four parts, that is splenium, body, genu and rostrum. Splenium, this part is posterior most part of the corpus callosum, while rostrum is anterior part. So I said the fibers of forceps major passes from splenium part of the corpus callosum, right? And these are the forceps minor, which is the anterior side of the cerebrum. So it connects frontal lobe from right to left side or left to right side. Okay. So basically this connect the frontal lobe from both cerebral hemisphere, and the fibers passes from genu part of corpus callosum. Look over here. This is the genu, and the fibers of forceps minor passes from this part, that is genu. So this is about the commissural fiber that connect to cerebral hemisphere. Now the next fiber is association fiber. So look over here, these are the association fiber. So what is the characteristic of this association fiber? Did you find any? Yes, it connect lobes on the same side. This fiber connect different parts of the same cerebral hemisphere. So this interconnect lobes on the same side. There are two types of association fiber, that is short association fiber or long association fiber. Short association fibers connect adjacent gyri of the same hemisphere, while long association fiber connect distance areas of the same hemisphere. So the example is arcuate fasciculus. We already discussed about this fiber in our previous lecture, that is in cerebrum. The arcuate fasciculus connect Wernicke's area with the Broca's motor speech area. Look at this diagram. This is the Wernicke's area while this is the Broca's area. So this fiber connect Wernicke's area to the Broca's area. So this is arcuate fasciculus, which is example of association fiber which connect Wernicke's area to Broca's motor speech area. The other examples are superior longitudinal fibers, inferior longitudinal fibers, and uncinate fasciculus, etc. And the last one is projection fibers. Look at this diagram. This is the projection fibers, yes, which is highlighted in pink color. I said the commissural fiber connect two cerebral hemisphere. Association fibers connect the same side of hemisphere. And now look over this. This is the projection fiber. So what do you think? What is the characteristic of these fibers? Yes, this connect higher brain center with lower brain center areas, right? So this is the simplified diagram of projection fibers which connect cortex of cerebral hemisphere to any lower centers, right? So this connect higher brain center with lower brain center areas. The example is internal capsule containing corticospinal tract. Internal capsule is V-shaped in horizontal section of the cerebrum, and this consists of projection fibers connecting cortex of cerebrum to any lower center areas. So there might be a question, internal capsule containing which fibers? So the answer is projection fibers. So this is all about the fibers. So we discuss about commissural fiber, we discuss about association fiber, and at last we discuss about the projection fibers. Thank you for watching this video.